Good morning. Okay, so usually every year I do this spiel, raising awareness. I really don't have anything new to report other than the fact that last week I'm not sure if this is even related to endometriosis, but I eat the same foods that my family eats, and I'm the only one, once in a while, I'm the only one who gets violently ill. I'm on the mend. However, this is something, that's just ongoing. With surgery doesn't fix it. It's not a cure. You still have to take a look at other aspects of your health that also need to be addressed. But yeah, I had my first surgery in 2011. Um, and like a lot of women, the doctor did not know what they were seeing. Even though they opened me up and they specialize in surgery on a woman. It was a hospital lab technician who diagnosed me stage 3, and the doctors, after surgery had complications, and there's expert advice was for me to start taking birth control pills. In which case I knew that this is not, you know, the pain is not there; it's in a different place. Yeah, so I was given the runaround, and it turns out, a lot of other women, they even after they get diagnosed, that's not, that's just half the battle. The other half of the battle is finding somebody who takes you serious. And it took me 10 years, because even though we have Affordable Care Act, insurance companies can still refuse to pay for care that will improve the quality of your life. So 10 years later, 2021, finally got the resources to have surgery done by a specialist. And unfortunately, like a lot of people, there's zero specialists in my hometown. Even though my hometown and the surrounding area has 500,000 people, we have zero specialists. So like a lot of people in Northern California, I had to go to San Francisco Bay Area to get to see a specialist, have the surgery, just and I was, the doctor made sure that I clearly understand this is not a cure. This is not going to fix everything. Um, if at best, maybe I might take the edge off the pain. Maybe my hemorrhaging might go from being anemic to, you know, a little bit less hemorrhaging. But my experience is completely pain free. Um, the hemorrhaging they do have, it's just spotting. It's just so this is just a miracle for me. But at the same time, I do understand. I have to also take a look at the other aspects of my health that were neglected. Because yeah, again, I could eat the same thing that my family eats. We can go to the same restaurant. My family's fine. I'm the only one who becomes ill. So that's something that's ongoing, and I have to figure out what is it exactly that I'm eating, or a combination of what I'm eating that's making me sick. So, but anyway, if those of you who want to know, some of you are new to this channel, so you're like, what is this? I'll include these links in the description box below, so you can see, learn about this. And I know some of you are like, no, I'm not going to be in a relationship with a woman. This does not have anything to do with me. You know, all of us, we have moms, we have sisters, we have aunts, we have female cousins, we have, if you're going to school, we have female classmates. If you go to work, we have female coworkers. This does affect all of us, and it's worldwide. Um, in this country, it's about 10 to 15% of women have this condition. I actually did some research in Japan as well. Japan, one of their leading experts, he retired. He's emeritus now, but based on his data, his conservative guess is that 35% of women, up to 35% of women in Japan have this. So I would not be surprised if this is part of the reason why Japan's marriage rate and birth rate are falling, because this is, even though we're called, oh, this is just normal monthly pain, because I went to the emergency room several times. I went to urgent care several times. Each time the doctor wrote down, yeah, normal monthly pain. After that I was diagnosed, doctors automatically write down endometriosis, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they understand, yeah, this is not normal. um, I still get the runaround, but yeah, at least now, has surgery done by a specialist. Um, by no means this doesn't mean that this chapter of my life is has ended. This disease increases your risk of cancer. So yeah, that's some of the researchers are trying to get this from a gynecology medical condition to an autoimmune disease. So immune system, for some reason, it's not, every month the immune system is supposed to clean up, that whole area, but for some reason with endometriosis, the immune system is not cleaning up that area, which makes things worse. um, so and I'm not sure if some of you are familiar, there is a drug, I'm not going to mention what it is because you can just google this. There was a drug that actually, you know dealt with the symptoms, and a lot of women who took this drug, wow, the pain is gone, the mass hemorrhaging is significantly reduced. But the women who took this medicine, one by one, they're being diagnosed with cancer, and now, there's a lawsuit going on. It's really sad because I do understand, if I was in that situation, there's so much pain and hemorrhaging, I would do whatever it takes. If the doctor says this medicine will fix the symptoms, I would take it. But unfortunately, with my family situation, I have a few family members, a couple of extended family members who were harmed by Western medicine. So I take everything with a grain of salt. Like, my the first surgeon prescribed birth control pills. I did not take it because I saw what happened to one of my family members when they took birth control pills. So someone like me, I'm like, I respect, because you have more knowledge, more training than I do, but based on my family history with Western medicine, I need to say no. And so I did not take this medicine, even though, I actually I followed it from a distance because of my family situation. Um, I just followed it from a distance, and then sure, yeah, and then I was not surprised that there's a lawsuit now because so many women have a high risk of cancer. Of course, it could be argued, well, you have an autoimmune disease, so that automatically puts you at higher risk. So maybe it's not the medicine, maybe it's it's something, maybe it's your pre-existing condition. So I know they can easily argue that, but as of right now, this is not labeled as an autoimmune disease, but there are specialists who are trying to get it reclassified. So, but we'll see. Research is ongoing. Doctors have known about this for Western medicine has known about this for over 150 years, and we're still no closer to finding a non-surgical way to diagnose. Because if you could imagine, if doctors insist, no, the only way to diagnose type 2 diabetes is through surgery, then obviously most people will never get diagnosed because most people cannot afford that don't have that kind of money just to get diagnosed. Um, and then there's no cure, and then the only treatment is the surgery as well. The only way to diagnose is surgery, the only way to treat is surgery. So we're still in the dark ages, unfortunately. And this is for all of women's health conditions. Here is a list of people who, um, Wikipedia's done a really good job. At first, you can just write whatever you want, but now they have backpedal and they're like, no, you have to cite your sources and make sure they're credible. So this is a partial list of people who have this condition. Some of you may be familiar with some of these names, um, like Whoopi Goldberg, Halsey, Julianne Hough, Bindi Irwin, Crocodile Hunter's daughter, Padma Lakshmi, um, Cyndi Lauper, Gillian Michaels, Marilyn Monroe, Tia Mowry, Sinead O'Connor, Dolly Parton, Florence Pugh, Daisy Ridley. Some of you are from, if you watch the Star Wars prequels, you're familiar with her. Susan Sarandon, Amy Schumer, Gabriel Union, Daisy Swimmett, Chrissy Teigen. Yeah. So, so and I think last I heard there was I'm not sure if she's still in the Congress, but there was a politician in Washington D.C. who has this condition. So that's another one. You can watch videos on YouTube, but again, YouTube you gotta be careful because there is no oversight committee to make sure that they're actually telling only the facts. And there's always people proclaim, hey, if you I have a treatment that can fix this. There is no such thing. I mean, for some women, changing nutrition helps. For some women, reducing their exposure to plastic products helps. But yeah, don't take what you watch and what you see on the internet with a grain of salt. And yeah, but definitely like this one of my favorite comedians did talk about, she and her husband were trying to have kids, and when they saw a fertility specialist, that's when she got diagnosed. So yeah, and yeah, she did have a high risk. Yeah, having her one child, it was high risk. She got through it, and now she's starting her new chapter in her life with her husband and their baby. So yeah, so take a look. So raise awareness. This is not normal monthly pain. This there's a lot of resources out there, um, and one of the things, just we are hoping. I mean, obviously, with elementary school students, you don't want to scare them by saying the monthly pain's not normal, because I mean they're already at the stage when the hormones are raging, and you're trying to make sense of what's going on. How come I have to go through this change? And it's intense. And the last thing you want to tell them is that monthly pain is not normal. But at the same time, like I went to the public school system. I was told monthly pain is normal. And your family also reiterates the same thing. Your family tells you monthly pain is normal. Some women are actually air quotes lucky in that their mom also has this condition, so their mom is a bit more empathetic. But with my family, looking at both sides of the family, it looks like my father's side of the family, at least one of his female cousins, might have this because she missed school. So yeah, unfortunately, she's estranged from the family, so we really don't have that much contact. And even if we did, probably she never had surgery to get diagnosed. But based on like the autoimmune diseases, they all come from my father's side of the family. So I'm thinking it's probably the father's side of the family. Which if that's the case, it's unfortunate because I'm not gonna get any sympathy from that side of the family. But it is what it is. We have to figure out how to move forward. I have, after I was diagnosed, I actually did participate in a couple of research studies. One of the research studies, let me go get some coffee here. One of the research studies that I participated in, they actually asked me for a sample of my DNA. They ran it through other people. So they had two groups, one control group, Either they never have surgery, or they had surgery but nope, they don't have it. And the other group, which is my group, experimental group, we had to show proof that we were diagnosed surgically. They took a look at our DNA samples, and they've definitely found there's a specific set of mutated genes that, at least of the sample that they collected, yeah, this specific set of genes, these women with endometriosis have in common. And it doesn't mean that it's cause and effect. It just means there is a correlation. So the other research study that I participated in was back in 2020. They wanted to know, okay, those of you who were surgically diagnosed, how is 2020 affecting you? And I don't have to mention what that 2020 is. All of us went through it. And so I participated in that study. Now I gave my honest feedback. And yeah, and they did publish the research. Like, yeah, 2020 did affect women. They had a harder time seeing a doctor, a harder time getting into the emergency room if they needed to go there. They had a harder time getting an appointment with a specialist. They had a hard time getting scheduling surgery. So yeah, you can see. Oh, that's the other thing I probably could have showed you. It's called PubMed. So these are peer-reviewed scientific research journal articles, and I'll also include a link to this one as well, so you can take a look at that. Yeah, every research that's been done about endometriosis is on here. And also, yeah, if you have any other medical conditions, you could also type it in here. So yeah, you could see like this one. It's saying, hey, we need to rethink. We should consider the patient. So yeah, so take a look at this too. And same thing. If any of you want to go down this rabbit hole, you can take a look at other medical conditions. So yeah, once in a while, I take a look at this, and see what else have they learned about this disease. It's still a challenge. It's chronic system disease. Um, and yeah, they're also some researchers are taking a look at a different way to diagnose, because obviously, like I mentioned, just imagine a world where all of us, from the beginning, the doctors are adamant the only way to diagnose stage or type 2 diabetes is through surgery. Then obviously most people will never get diagnosed. They will go through their entire life not knowing that they have this disease. And that's exactly what's going on with endometriosis. Most women cannot afford to pay for surgery just to get diagnosed. And then once you're diagnosed, that doesn't mean that you live happily ever after. Then you have a doctor who just prescribes birth control pills, performs surgery. They don't know what else to do. They just give you the runaround. Worst case, they send you to a psychiatrist because they think it's all in your head, even though you're diagnosed. So, yeah, Let me know what your thoughts about this, and raise awareness. If a woman is showing their pain, try to be at least sympathetic, if not empathetic. And of course, um, uh, try to be as supportive as you can. And know, maybe this is not normal monthly pain. Maybe it's something else, or maybe it is normal monthly pain. It's just something. She knows how to handle it, because you see a lot of women do your period pain simulator, and the guys are all hunched over. You have a tremendous amount of sympathy as a result, and the woman is like, oh, I did the period pain simulator. I'm on my period right now. This actually makes me feel better. So the guys are like, oh my goodness, I don't know how you go through you handle all of this. So yeah, raise awareness. Try to be sympathetic to the ladies in your life, and hopefully someday they will have a better way to diagnose and treat this disease, and hopefully someday there will be a cure. Take care.